mention All-American, having another outstanding campaign. And for Stanford, number 11 of the outside hitter, Moses Wagner, a 6'6 senior from San Jose. He does lead the Cardinal in kills while hitting .248. He has 235 kills on the season. Number 11, Moses Wagner. Pretty good crowd on this Friday night. Capacity of Firestone Fieldhouse is about 3,100. Our officials for tonight's match, the up official, Bert Fuller, and the down official is Tony Chan. There you see number 11, Moses Wagner, top player for the Cardinal. For Pepperdine, the starting lineup, the Waves will start on the outside. Cole Hartke along with Ryan Barnett and Jose Gomez. In the middle, James Eady along with Noe Mate. The center, Andre Polomas, and the libero, Jacob Riley. Head coach of the Waves is Jonathan Winder in his fourth season. Last year's MPSF Coach of the Year in Stanford starts off with a point and take a 1-0 lead. Waves will be moving left to right. They're in their blue and white. And for the Cardinal, they're in their Cardinal and white. For Stanford, and they've had a slew of injuries throughout the season. The overpass by Pepperdine. Ball has popped up. They're going to call violation against the Waves and a point to Stanford. For the Cardinal, they will start on the outside. Moses Wagner along with Nate Clinton and then Alex Rotman. In the middle, Comana Carrera along with Luke McFall. The center will be Theron Briette, and the libero is Evan Boyder. Head coach of the Cardinal is John Costi, now in his 20th season. A series that dates back to 1974, and Pepperdine leads the overall series 69-30, and Pepperdine won both matches at Stanford last season. Cardinals, who finished in sixth place last year, were picked fourth at the start of the year, and driving the ball and a point for Stanford, Nate Clinton. For Nate Clinton getting the start, 56 kills on the year, 6'4 junior out of Pleasanton, California. But with the Cardinal in the preseason bowl, they were picked ninth. They currently are ranked number 14, but they've had so many injuries. Their starting setter been out for a while. Their middle blocker, Reed Wainwright, had been out just trying to get back. And then really one of their top players, an All-American, Inteo Sanui, the 6'8 senior out of Berkeley, California, did not play against USC last weekend. Both matches won by USC, so without Sanui, it's a big void, but they do have an excellent player coming off the bench in Alex Rotman, the 6'6 junior from Santa Barbara, has played well. Wave serving. This is Jose Gomez. Played last year for the Waves, playing outstanding 6'4, plays on the Cuban national team. 4-2 Stanford in set number one. Waves trying to keep it in play. Hit there by Hartke and volleyed over by Pepperdine. Comes back to Wagner, goes cross court and gets the kill. Moses Wagner, who was one of 8 players on the ABCA National Player semifinalist list, along with Pepperdine's Cole Hartke. In fact, out of the MPSF, there are 5 of those players on the ABCA National Player semifinal list. That'll be decided in a couple of weeks. Cardinal on the offensive. They go over the middle. That is McFall, but driven back by Pepperdine along with Ryan Barnett and James Eady. They go back to Barnett with a smash hit, and Pepperdine scores. Cardinal 5, Pepperdine 3. It's the best 3 out of 5. First 4 sets to 25. You must win by 2. If they play to a set 5, they'll play to 15. Again, you must win by 2. And there is no ceiling. Cardinal go with a quick attack, McFall, but the Waves able to reject it. Another block up by Hartke along with Mate, and then the return by Stanford is out of bounds. No good, and a point to Pepperdine. Waves, one of the best offensive hitting teams in the country. They're hitting .370 on the year. They rank number 4 in the nation, as you see Hartke up front along with Mate. And a point to Stanford, 6-4. Cardinal trying to bounce back from a couple losses at USC last weekend. And for Stanford, currently tied for 4th place with Brigham Young at 6-4. Pepperdine, that was picked second in the preseason, tied with UCLA for first, both at 9-1. SC is at 8-2 in third place. This is Rotman set it to the outside, and Wagner with a smackdown. Moses Wagner, number 11, leads this team with 235 kills. 6'6" senior, returning starter from last year. Wagner last year, who was an All-American, led the team with 86 blocks despite the fact he was playing the outside, and he also leads the team in service aces. These teams will come back tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Serving Luke McFall, the 6'9" redshirt junior from Pleasanton, at the service line. These teams meet again tomorrow night, 6 p.m. We'll have it on Big Ten Plus. Jump serve. Cardinal, really good blocking team. That's been their strength all season long. Waves get the point. Noe Mate, the 6'7" freshman from Switzerland, who had missed about 5 weeks of the season with an injury, as did Grant LaMarre, 2 starters. So the Waves have had their share of injuries also, but they're such a deep, talented team like Stanford. And the Waves come in at 18-5 and tie for first place with UCLA. Bruins are playing tonight, playing at UC Merced. Waves back on offense, down 8-5 in the first set. Barnett pounds it, and the return goes out of bounds as Evan Porter cannot come up with it. For Stanford, they are hitting only .280 as a team, and defensively allowing their opponents a .288 hitting percentage. But their blocking's been their strength. They've outblocked their opponents 314 to 266. Their serve has been good, but certainly not great. Pepperdine, a strong serving team. They've outaced their opponents 183 to 105. That's a big differential. In blocking, Pepperdine's dominated the net 366 to 249 by their opponents. You see Evan Porter, the sophomore libero, who tops this team with 142 digs. He led the team as a freshman with 190 last year in the service area. Pepperdine, who comes in winners of 11 of the last 13. They split with UCLA last weekend. They handed the Bruins their first and only loss of the year. About 8 days ago here in Malibu, it was quite a match. Waves winning 15-13. Waves up front with a big block by Edey. Comes back to Stanford. They go outside to Wagner on the backside. Harkey firing away. 6'10" sophomore out of Barrington, Illinois, about 25 miles outside of Chicago. And for Cole Harkey, he leads the nation in kills per set at 4.28 kills per set. And he tops Pepperdine with 325 kills on the year while hitting 352 from the outside. Harkey at 6'10" can handle it. Comes back to Harkey. 9-9 the Waves. Finally catch the Cardinal. Cardinal back on offense. Back row hit by Wagner. Pepperdine able to play it. They go over the middle, and Noe Mate with the kill. We get a timeout. The Waves on a nice run take the lead for the first time, 10-9 in set number 1. You're watching the NBSF on Big Ten Plus. Stanford in the first of 2 matches this weekend. Got a pretty good crowd on hand at Firestone Fieldhouse. Cole Harkey leading the way for Pepperdine. The Waves, as we mentioned, have won 11 of 13. They are 9-2 at home. For the Cardinal, they are 2-6 on the road. They've dropped their last 4 matches. This is Wagner from the back row attacking, gets the kill. And we're even at 10. Stanford, located in Palo Alto, midway between San Francisco and San Jose, just off the 101. In other sports, they play in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Pepperdine in the West Coast Conference in other sports. But both in the NBSF. Pepperdine on the offensive. It's one of the beams. Waves Barnett able to get a touch. And the shot is good by the Waves. They get the point, Ryan Barnett. Those beams and lights that sit rather low are in play as long as the ball comes back on the same side. And if that ball hit by Pepperdine hit one of the beams or lights and gone on the other side, it would have been a point to Stanford. But it stayed on the same side. Waves able to play it, and they get the point. 11-10 Pepperdine in the first set. This figures to be a good match between two excellent teams. Over the middle, firing away, Luke McFall, that quick attack, because the Waves are such a good blocking team. For Stanford to offset that, they're going to see a lot of quick attacks close up at the net and a lot of back row attacks trying to fend off that blocking of Pepperdine that's been so dominant this year. But the West Coast Conference changing literally as we speak. Again, another quick attack, this time by Camara. Waves able to reject it a couple of times. They go to the backside to Wagner, and then the block goes out of bounds, and Wagner gets the point. Waves 12, Cardinal 11. But in the West Coast Conference, it was just announced recently within the last hour or so, UC Santa Barbara will join the West Coast Conference, leaving the Big West after a long period. And they will join on July 1st, 2027, along with UC San Diego. Waves firing away. Jose Gomez gets the kill. 13-11 Pepperdine. So in the West Coast Conference, with Denver joining this coming fall, and then next year, UC San Diego leaves the Big West. Now Santa Barbara. And they will join July 1st, 2027. Waves on offense. Jose Gomez, once again, the 6'4" sophomore. Very talented player. And the Waves up 14-11. Able to beat the double block. McFall along with Brayette, the setter, defending. Waves take something off. Porter has to keep it in play. They go to a quick attack. The overpass by Pepperdine comes back to Stanford. And then it is Rotman going deep and gets the point. Number 5, Alex Rotman, been playing well. Comes in with 141 kills, hitting 249. We mentioned Stanford without their All-American outside hitter Teo Sanui. That's a big loss, the 6'8" senior from Berkeley. Waves on offense. Ball comes up short. Did they keep it in play? And apparently not. Point to Pepperdine. Koharki with the kill. 15-12 Pepperdine in set number 1. Jonathan Winder off the bench. With Tony Chan. Waves serving once again, up 15-12. So the West Coast Conference that loses Gonzaga, Oregon State, and Washington State to the Pac-12 adds Denver this year, and then UC San Diego and UC Santa Barbara next year in 2027. And who knows, they may add another school. Let's see what we get. 16-12, point to Pepperdine. Stanford now in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Have to get used to after being in the Pac-12 for so many years. Waves a booming serve. Stanford on offense. Wagner shot comes up short. Point to Pepperdine. Jose Gomez, excellent serve. As we mentioned, the Waves are excellent serving team. Stanford takes a timeout. The Waves have a 17-12 lead in set number 1. You're watching the NBSF on Big Ten Plus. The Waves with a 17-12 lead in the first set after trailing early, and Pepperdine currently on a 3-0 run. Pepperdine is hitting .909 to begin the match. 10 kills on 11 swings, no attack errors, and Stanford hitting 111. They have 8 kills, 27 attempts, 16 more chances for Stanford, but they have 5 attack errors and then only 111. We talked about the West Coast Conference, but the NBSF, University of Pacific, will join the NBSF next year in men's volleyball out of Stockton, California. Pacific will join on January 1st, 2027, giving the NBSF 11 schools. Pacific have been playing men's volleyball for 21 years, dropped the sport 13 years ago, and bringing it back in 2027. So it's a great addition to get another Division I school playing D1 men's volleyball. Koharki with the put away. 18-13 Pepperdine, the number 5 team in the nation. Stanford comes in at number 14. Waves, of course, second all-time in national titles in men's volleyball with 5, but none since 2005. Over the middle, Luke McFall. Stanford with 2 national titles, 1997 and 2010. John Costi, the head coach of the Cardinal in his 20th year. In 2010-2014, he was the NBSF Coach of the Year. And for Coach Costi in 2010, he was the National Coach of the Year. Played his volleyball at Santa Barbara. He was the top setter. He was an All-American, graduated in 1987. Ryan Barnett with the kill. Barnett, who was first-team All-American last year, comes in with 242 kills, hitting .369 with 32 aces. The 6'5" graduate out of West Hampton Beach, New York. 19-14 Pepperdine. And a service error a little bit long by Hartke. For Hartke, who tops the team with 37 aces, Andre Polomas has 36. And you have to be able to handle Pepperdine's serve on top of everything else. And that one goes long. Service error, and Pepperdine gets the point. 2015 Pepperdine. So with Pacific joining the NBSF next year, will make it down much stronger. Wave serving, Ryan Barnett. For the Cardinal, they have been in the national championship 5 different times, winning twice as we mentioned, but they were in the championship in '89, 1992, then 2014, as we're going to get violation against Stanford and a point to Pepperdine. And you see Camara number 18, Nate Clinton number 28, and Brietta center 23. Waves up 21-15, booming serve by Barnett, but the Cardinal able to handle it, firing away out of the back row. The Waves able to cover, tapped over by Pepperdine. Waves get another chance. They go cross court. The shot by Gomez, no good, and a point to Stanford. Good ball handling on both sides. Nate Clinton to serve for Stanford. 6'4" junior out of Pleasanton. Started last year. A lot of returning players for the Cardinal, but all those injuries have mounted up and really taken its toll on the Cardinal this season. Yet they're 6-4 in conference play. In tie for 4th with Brigham Young. Over the middle, the quick attack, Noe Mate. He missed 5 weeks this year. Finally got him back healthy. He does make a difference. He's a physical presence for Pepperdine. Strong hit. 22-16 Pepperdine. So 5 times the Cardinal have been in the national championship, coming away with 2 national titles. Waves with 5, second most, and of course UCLA number 1 with 21 national titles and ranked number 1 this year, and they are good. Coming out of the back row. Cardinal gets the point, 22-17, hanging close. See Moses Wagner. Ryan Dulles. Ryan DeRoss coming in to serve for the Cardinal. 6'3" senior out of Gilroy, California. Strong jump serve. Riley able to receive. Waves go to Hartke, who drives it. Covered by Stanford. Back row attack. Moses Wagner. Number 11. Man, he's really good. Honorable All-American last year. One of the top 8 players in the nation. A chance to be National Player of the Year. But depending on how Stanford finishes, certainly could decide that. Waves now hitting 667, the Cardinal 156. Another good top serve by DeRoss. Waves on the backside, off the blocks. Cole Hartke, another semifinalist for the National Player of the Year, 1 of 8. 23-18 Pepperdine. Cardinal got off to a good start, led 9-6 early, and then the Waves went on a 4-0 and taking the lead. And you see Hartke defending is Rotman along with McFall. Waves, strong serve. Cardinal goes to Rotman. Was the ball touched? Apparently so, and Rotman gets the point. 23-19 Pepperdine. For the Waves, who next week have to go home and home with USC on the 16th and 18th. They'll play USC on the 18th here in Malibu. 11 on Big Ten Blast. Oh, booming hit by Gomez. For Stanford, next week, they will be at Menlo to close out the regular season after this weekend. All right, set point number 1 for Pepperdine, 24-19 Waves. A strong jump serve, missing long. Gomez. And set point number 2, 24-20, Pepperdine. Cardinal 9-12 on the year. Despite the record, they are a much better team, and the record would indicate. Waves back on offense. Polomas on the backside. Hartke drops it over. Nice save by Porter on the other side. And that is Wagner. The shot no good. And Pepperdine wins 25-20. Waves take a 1-0 lead. Team will change sides. We'll get ready for set number 2. Waves up 1-0. You're watching the NBSF on Big Ten Plus. And for John Costi, his son Cameron, a 6'5" freshman center, is a part-time starter at UC Irvine, and they're ranked number 6 in the nation. Well, John has to be proud of his son Cameron. All right, set number 2, Cardinals serving to begin things. Waves win the first set 25-20, and the Waves' Jose Gomez with a put away. Stanford, private research university founded back in 1885, an enrollment of about 17,500. School was actually named after Leland Stanford, the 8th governor of California. The interesting note on Stanford, tuition at the Northern California school is $95,500 a year. One of the most expensive schools in the nation, probably top 5. All right, we're tied at 1 to begin set number 2, overpassed by Pepperdine. Mariette goes over the middle. McFall with a smash hit. And that quick attack will be so important. But it all starts with the receiving and passing for Stanford. For Pepperdine, school founded in 1937. Enrollment, that is a private school located in Malibu overlooking the Pacific Ocean with about 8,000 students. And tuition at Pepperdine is $93,000 a year. You got a couple of pretty wealthy schools on the court tonight. Waves going to Cole Hartke as the Cardinal cannot come up with it. NBSF tournament April 22nd to the 25th at Brigham Young. Top 8 teams will go out of the 10 schools. There's Riley with the set. Backside, Hartke. Waves ball handling also is excellent. Pepperdine 3, Cardinal 2. You see Hartke is 6'10". He's so athletic. He has such a great court presence. You can put him in the back row. There are very few players at 6'10" playing on the back row. Waves booming serve, and they get the ace. 4-2 Pepperdine. Our officials for tonight's match. The up official, Bert Fuller. The down official is Tony Chan. And Chan's been doing this for 27 seasons, does men and women's beach volleyballs, worked the Final Four in women's volleyball. 5 different times. Cardinal on the offensive. They go outside. Diving save by Riley. They go to Barnett with a tap. Rejected by McFall and Wagner. And the Cardinal gets the point. NCAA championships May 9th and 11th at UCLA. The Bruins have everything set up to win another national title. The tournament itself, and there will be 12 schools this year. It all begins May 1st and May 2nd. Cardinal serving, Waves up front. They tap it over. Covered by Stanford. The block right there. Ryan Barnett, Cole Harkey defending. 5-3 Pepperdine. After this season, the NCAA Men's Volleyball Championships will be in Las Vegas at the Orleans Arena 2027 and 2028. Things changing in men's volleyball. Tapped over, diving save by Porter, popped up by Briette, and then the kill by Wagner. Well, it all started with a nice play by Porter coming up to keep it in play and allow Stanford to get the point. Look at that dig by Porter. And finally get it to Wagner. The doubles were there, but he goes inside. Pepperdine 5, Stanford 4. Waves back row attack. Jose Gomez flying out of the back row. 6'4" sophomore. Hitting .326 with 114 kills. Excellent ball handler, terrific athlete. Plays on Cuba's national team. 6-4 Pepperdine. Waves hitting .607. 28 swings, 19 kills, and only 2 attack errors, and they get an ace. 7-4 Pepperdine. Stanford hitting .154. 39 swings, 11 more than Pepperdine, and the Waves yet have 5 more kills. And Stanford with 8 attack errors. Waves and digs 11-5. Pepperdine with the edge. Pepperdine serving their dark uniforms. And let's see. Get maybe a violation against Pepperdine. Point to Stanford and Nate Clinton to serve. 7-5 Pepperdine. We said way upstairs, so we're not privy to what the officials or the coaches are saying. Clinton high toss, walks and delivers a let's serve diving save by Mate, who taps it over. It comes back to Stanford, and then from the outside driving it, Rotman. Riley able to get a touch. Waves tap it over. Comes back to Briette, cross court, and then the kill by Rotman. Very nice rally by both teams. Cardinal in white, Pepperdine and they're blue and white. 7-6 Pepperdine in set number 2. Waves won the first set 25-20. Another let's serve. Pepperdine goes to Barnett, and the block's no good. Reed Wainwright, who had missed most of the season, expected to start. Was a starter last year, and he had 75 kills at .358, 6'7" sophomore from Newport Beach, and not played that much this year. He's in the lineup right now, number 12. Wave booming serve, and rattles off one of the beams. It is in play. Hit over by Stanford. Pepperdine gets it back. Tapped over by Gomez, and Porter cannot come up with it. Jose Gomez. That was 7 kills. Cole Harkey was 7. And the Waves continue to execute. Their ball handling and passing's been outstanding. Their blocking excellent up front. And they take a 9-6 lead in set number 2. Cardinal. A quick attack over the middle, and that's Wainwright. To get him back in the floor, another key player. Played quite a bit last season. 9-7, Pepperdine up. Jonathan Winder, the head coach of the Waves. NBSF Coach of the Year last season. Quick attack, Noe Mate. Actually, Olamas, the setter, getting the point. Transfer from Purdue, Fort Wayne, was their starter last year. And joining All-American season, he's averaging better than 10 assists per set. A great ball handler, top server for Pepperdine. Waves up 10-7. They go the jump floater. Back row finding Wagner. Ball's pinball comes back to Pepperdine. Gomez pounds it. Ball touched by Wagner on the other side. Rotman the ways block up front. James Eady, number 26, who was honorable mention All-American last year. Harkey was second team All-American. Riley was second team All-American. And Barnett was first team All-American. Waves figured to have a great season, and they're doing so. Tied for first place in the conference with UCLA, both 9-1. Quick attack by Bryant. He missed a number of matches, the starting setter from last year. 6'3" senior out of San Jose. Averaged better 10.39 assists per set last season. 11-8 Waves in set number 2. Mentioned Jonathan Winder in his 4th year. Prior to coming to Pepperdine, he was the head coach of Fresno State women's volleyball program for 4 years. Jonathan Winder, who played with Pepperdine from 2005 through 2008. He was a 4-time All-American. Helped lead the Waves to their last national title in 2005. He was a 6'8" setter, and then the quick attack by McFall. But Jonathan Winder played professionally in Europe. A 4-time All-American. In 2007, he was the National Player of the Year. And quite a team back then. Brad Keenan, 6'11" middle. Sean Rooney, an Olympian, 6'9" outside hitter. There's Harkey. Waves ball handling continues to be excellent. Able to handle Stanford's serve. And the Waves up 13-9 in set number 2. You see Harkey delivers 8 kills for the All-American. NBSF Freshman of the Year last year. Waves serving, another tough serve. Cardinal, they run it down. They go, oh, the big block up front. Harkey and Eady defending. You see Gomez with a good serve. Rotman, they go to the outside. Clinton, and is knocked down. Waves up 14-9. These teams meet again tomorrow night, 6 p.m. We'll have it on Big Ten Plus. Briette able to find Clinton. Balls sent over, still in play. The overpass. What are they gonna say? The point will go to Stanford. They ruled it out of bounds. 14-10 Waves. David Wolf comes in for Stanford, 6'8" sophomore out of Wilmette, Illinois. Number 15, you see Luke McFall, number 22. 14-11. McFall, good size, good athlete. McFall this year, 88 kills. He leads the team, hitting .485. Pepperdine on offense, quick attack. And the Cardinal keep it in play, and they volley it back. Polomas with the hit. They go over the middle, and it's James Eady. They actually were saying the ball was touched. And Pepperdine gets the point. Waves up 15-11 in set number 2. Waves up 1-0. Waves hitting 600. The Cardinal 184. We'll come back. You're watching the NBSF on Big Ten Plus. A look at Darren Briette, number 23, the center. Alex Rotman, number 5, the outside hitter. Waves hitting 6'11", 36 swings, 24 kills, only 2 attack errors. Stanford hitting 184, 49 attempts, 19 kills, and 10 attack errors. When you think about Stanford, you always think about academics, but they lead the NCAA in national championships with 138. Across the spectrum of athletics in every sport. Pepperdine on offense. They go back to Harkey, knocked down up front, but it goes out of bounds, and Koharki gets the point. Wolf was defending, and Jose Gomez to serve. But besides the 138 national championships for Stanford, amazingly, the Cardinal program has won a national title in one sport or another 50 consecutive years, dating back to 1976. And they just won artistic swimming national title back in March. 50 straight years with a national championship in one sport or another. Unbelievable. And 138 overall. Great success. And 2 national titles in men's volleyball. All right, Barnett slams it. He's leading in set number 2, 17-12. For Stanford, with a number of notable alumni. I guess you could start with Tiger Woods. John McEnroe was a great tennis player for the Cardinal. Charles Schwab, for those who invest in business and brokerage company. On offense, the ball is hit. Waves able to cover it. They go back row to Gomez, the overpass. Then Pepperdine will play it again. They go on the other side this time to Harkey, who gets the kill. Pepperdine 18, Stanford 12. So we mentioned Charles Schwab. Then you have John F. Kennedy, former president of the United States. You're going to get a timeout. The Waves have the lead in set 2 up 1-0, 18-12. You're watching the NBSF on Big Ten Plus. And the Trojans this weekend are at Brigham Young. That upcoming schedule being brought to you by Pepperdine Graziadio Business Schools. You take a look at Jonathan Winder in his 4th season, last year's NBSF Coach of the Year, and Coach Winder assisted by Matthew Pollack, Associate Head Coach, and then also Associate Head Coach Luke Reynolds and Assistant Will Kraft. Waves up 18-12, Pepperdine serving, moving right to left in the blue uniforms. On the other side, Wagner gets away, attack air. Pepperdine 19, Cardinal 12. The Waves' ability to block certainly changes the trajectory. Even so, Wagner coming out of the back row. Now we mentioned some of the notable alumni at Stanford, and we mentioned John F. Kennedy, former president of the United States. Serve this time goes out of bounds. Reese Witherspoon, of course, famous actress, Stanford alum. Sigourney Weaver of Alien fame was an alumni of Stanford. Sigourney Brin, who is the founder of Google, he went to Stanford. And of course, Pepperdine's own athletic director, Tanner Gardner, who was a top wrestler back in the early 2000s, and Tanner in his 2nd year as AD at Pepperdine, Stanford alum. Oh, yeah. All right, 19-14 Pepperdine. He's won the first set 25-20. This is Wolf serving, comes up short. Because if you're Stanford, you're trying to put pressure on Pepperdine, one of the best offensive teams in the nation. As a team, Pepperdine hitting .370, that puts them number 4 in the NCAA. UCLA number 1 at .386. Waves, booming serve, Ryan Barnett. 21-14 Pepperdine. The Waves trying to go up 2-0. This year the Waves do have 10 shutouts. They have been shut out once. This one goes out of bounds. That was against Santa Barbara. And for Stanford, they have 6 shutouts, but they've been swept 7 different times, including last weekend at USC. Boy, the Trojans are really good. Hawaii goes into UC Irvine last weekend, wins both matches. UCLA ranked number 1 this week. Hawaii 2nd, Long Beach State 3rd, the defending national champs. SC 4th, Pepperdine 5, UC Irvine 6th. Stanford 14th. The return goes out of bounds, and Pepperdine gets the point. 22-15 Pepperdine. We always talk about Koharki, but you cannot forget about Ryan Barnett, really one of the premier players in the nation. Harkey, along with Riley, who was second-team All-American, the transfer from Concordia, Pepperdine's libero. Jacob Riley, Ryan Barnett, first-team All-American last year. Waves up 22-15, set number 2. Mentioned UC Irvine ranked 6th this week, Ball State 7th, Santa Barbara 8th, Chicago 9th, Brigham Young 10th. Ball tapped over by Wagner, Waves return it. This is Porter's setting, the high set off the blocks and getting the point. Alex Rotman, a couple of Division II schools ranked in the top 20. McKendree out of Illinois, playing out of the Neva, ranked number 11. And Lindenwood out of St. Charles, Missouri, also playing in the Neva. Lindenwood is ranked number 12 in the country. Quick shot attempt, no good, as Polomas tried to surprise the Cardinal. It's 22-17, Cardinal making a move. Waves hitting .634, 41 attempts, 28 kills, and 3 attack errors, now down to .595. Booming serve. Brayette with an ace. Pepperdine's going to take a timeout as the Cardinal on a run, down 22-18. Waves up 1-0. Pepperdine 22, Stanford 18 in the second set. Pepperdine won the first set 25-20. Tonight's match being brought to you by Urban Crunch. On this Friday evening, we hope things are going well for you. In mid-April, an exciting time for men's volleyball. 12 teams will play in the NCAA tournament beginning May 1st and 2nd with the semis and nationals at UCLA the 9th and 11th of May. All right, Pepperdine led by Koharki's 10 kills. Jose Gomez with 8. Moses Wagner has 7. Topping Stanford. Waves on the offensive. Gomez. But the ability of the Pepperdine to receive and pass and set. One reason why they're hitting almost 600. They have been able to handle Stanford's serve throughout, at least early in this match. 23-18 Pepperdine. Waves serving. Briette goes outside, blocked up front. Koharki, 6'10" sophomore. Really one of the premier players in the country. And Wagner had a great look and just knocked down. A timeout taken. Set point number 1 for Pepperdine, 24-18 Waves. You're watching the NBSF in his 4th season. Waves who won the NBSF tournament last year. Pepperdine serving. Up 24-18. Waves up 1-9. Booming serve. Ball is touched there by Rotman. Firing away Wagner. Waves keep it in play. Harkey goes deep, but goes out of bounds. Set point number 2 for the Waves. The Evan Porter, the libero, talented sophomore. Cardinal serving. Alex Rotman. High toss and keeps it in play. Waves back row. Barnett pounds it and able to get the kill. And Pepperdine wins. Waves take a 2-0 lead, winning 25-19. Team will change sides. We'll get ready for set number 3. Waves hitting .578, the Cardinal 143. You're watching the NBSF on Big Ten Block. To you by Urban Grunge. Our officials for tonight's match. Up official is Bert Fuller, and the down official is Tony Chan. All right, Pepperdine serving. This is Andre Polomas, who has 36 aces on the year. An All-American season for the transfer from Purdue Fort Wayne. The overpass by Pepperdine comes back to Stanford. They go to Wagner back row, and it goes out of bounds. Well, the one player that Stanford really misses is Teo Sanui, the 6'8" senior outside hitter. An All-American from last year. Had over 400 kills. He did not play against USC in both matches last weekend. Overpassed by Stanford. He's not in the lineup tonight against Pepperdine. Waves Jose Gomez. Teams put so much emphasis on Cole Harkey, and it certainly opens things up for Jose Gomez or Ryan Barnett. And Harkey is certainly the focal point of each and every team. Waves come up short. 2-1 Pepperdine in the third set. For the Cardinal, they'll be at Menlo next weekend to close out the regular season, but they'll play Pepperdine tomorrow night at 6 p.m. We'll have it on Big Ten Plus. Plays with Stanford tomorrow and then home and home against USC. There should be two great matches at USC next Thursday and then home a week from Saturday on the 18th to close out the regular season. Jose Gomez at the service line. He's up 3-1. Gomez now at 10 kills, hitting .643. Waves have been so efficient. Wagner powers it this time, gets the point. Waves are hitting .587 against a really good team. 46 swings, 31 kills, only 4 tag errors. Stanford hitting .121, 58 attempts, 20 kills, and 13 attack errors. The Cardinal with 11 more attempts, but 10 less kills. They have not been as efficient. James Eady gets the point. Honorable mention All-American last year. Great court presence. Timing is excellent. Long and athletic. That's 6-7. 4-2 Pepperdine trying to get their 19th win of the year. Going down the line, Wagner, and the shot attempt is good. Waves last year went 21-10. Went to the NCAA tournament, defeated Loyola Chicago in the opening round, and then lost to Long Beach State in the semifinals. Long Beach State, the defending national champs, when they beat UCLA. A busy night in the NBSF. Vanguard is at Menlo. Brigham Young hosting USC. UCLA at UC Merced. And Concordia home against Jessup. And the top 8 teams will go to the conference tournament. And currently 10 teams in the conference. 5-3 Pepperdine, set number 3. Let's serve. Right at the net. Over the middle, Wainwright with a smash hit. Well done by Stanford that time. 5-4 Pepperdine. That quick attack, good set right at the net. Very tough to stop. Cardinals serving back there is Riley to receive out of the back row. Jose Gomez. Just a sophomore, 6'4". Coming in last year, he was highly regarded. Played a little bit. Didn't play as much as he wanted to, but he's had a breakout season this year. On the other side, Wolf returned up front by Mate along with Polo Mas, and then the shot by Wagner is out of bounds, no good. Boy, Wagner's getting some great looks. He's just missing. Wagner's got 9 kills, 25 swings, but 6 attack errors, and hitting .120. Comes in hitting .248 on the year. The teams are keen on him. Number 11, one of our players to watch. That shouts to the net, won by Wolf, and the Cardinal gets the point. David Wolf, the 6'8" sophomore from Wilmette, Illinois. 7-5 Pepperdine. You see Wolf at the service line. Cardinal this year have been a great serving team, 86 aces, but their opponents 95. They've got 5 tonight, and Ryan Barnett with a smash hit. Take a look at this. Coming out of the back row, just firing away, and Wolf took that one for the team. 8-5 Pepperdine. Barnett with 7 kills. Noe Mate with 3. Barnett also with 4 digs over the middle. Wainwright gets the point. It's 8-6. Pepperdine up. And Reed Wainwright will be at the service line. Well, with 12 teams going to the NCAA tournament this year, it takes a lot of pressure off, certainly in the Big West as well as the NBSF. Well, they figure to get a number of at-large teams in postseason. This is Rotman knocked down. Polomas, the setter. Andre, who is 6'6", he is from Serbia, with a lot of international experience. Look at that block, clean as a whistle. 9-6 Pepperdine. Played at Purdue for Wayne last year, was the starting setter. Been a big addition for Pepperdine. Over the middle, as McFall's rejected, it goes to Rotman firing away. Great save back there by Barnett, but then the hit comes up short. And Pepperdine's really playing well. And they've had to against a very good Stanford team. Plays up 2-0, leading 9-7 here in the third set. Pepperdine was outside, tapped over by Gomez, but it comes up short. 9-8. You see Jose mad at himself. He's now hitting .580. Stanford 147. Carter does have 5 aces, only 7 errors, but make it 8 as that goes out of bounds. Pepperdine 10, Cardinal 8. UCLA and Pepperdine atop the league standings, both at 9-1. SC at 8-2, and then BYU and Stanford at 6-4, tied for 4th and 5th. Booming serve by the Waves. Back row attack there. And Wolf gets the points coming out of the back row, 10-9. Waves up. See Andre Polomas. Well designed by Stanford. Cardinal serving. High toss. Rotman delivers. Polomas goes to the outside. Ryan Barnett with the kill. Barnett last year had over 400 kills. Had a breakout season. First team All-American, number 14. Number 9 Pepperdine. Waves the only team to hand UCLA a loss. They're 22-1. Waves able to get the quick point. Pepperdine 12, Stanford 9. Wave serving on the backside, and this is Wagner with a put away. A special thanks to our entire Game On Entertainment crew, our director tonight, Kelly Rosales, doing a terrific job, working for the first time with us. So Kelly, who works usually over at LMU, we've got her here tonight, and she's done a terrific job. Kept in play by Stanford, over past 8. Joust sent over by the Cardinal, comes back to Pepperdine, off the blocks. It is Ryan Barnett. 13-10 Pepperdine. That was the Joust. What a great play back there by Kartke to keep that ball alive and allow Pepperdine to score. Also producing tonight, Archie Coruscani, Connor Mendoza, Kristen Elizondo, and Christian Soler. Special thanks to Kelly Nugent out of the Pepperdine Athletics Communications Department with the left hand, hit over by Porter, but too many hits. They may have called double contact, but the Waves get the point. Pepperdine 14, Stanford 10. Waves won the first set 25-20, second set 25-19. Waves hitting .545. Stanford 151. Comes up short, side out to Stanford. Cardinal has 18 more attack attempts, but 10 less kills. They have 16 errors compared to Pepperdine 6. Diggs, Waves 22, Stanford 10. And blocking Pepperdine 12-2 at the net. Serving, the Cardinal does have 5 aces, only 8 errors. Pepperdine, 3 aces and 12 errors. Polomas goes on the backside to Harkey. A shot no good. Gomez has 11 kills. Harkey with 10 and Barnett with 10. And Barnett also with 5 digs. Harkey has 4 blocks. Polomas has 34 assists for Stanford. Wagner with 10 kills. Rotman with 5. And McFall with 5. Bryant has 22 assists off the blocks. Pepperdine. Jose Gomez once again. We get a timeout. Pepperdine 15, Stanford 12. Waves up 2-0, leading set 3. You're watching the NBSF on Big Ten Plus. Cardinals dropped 4 in a row. They are 2-6 on the road this year. Pepperdine comes in 9-2 at home, and they've won 11 of the last 13. They did lose to UCLA last Saturday after they had beaten the Bruins 2 nights earlier. Noe Mate with a kill. 16-13 Pepperdine. Series that dates back to 1974. Pepperdine leads the overall series 69-30. Waves serving, moving left to right. Cardinal back row attack. Wolf. Can the Waves get it over? They do. It's tapped over by Polomas. Stanford to Rotman. Waves get a touch. They go on the other side. The kill. Jose Gomez. Aiden Toon is in to serve for Pepperdine. They've been solid all season long. The 6'1 junior out of Honolulu. We get a timeout by Stanford. Pepperdine 17. The Cardinal 13, Waves up 2-0. You're watching the NBSF on Big Ten Plus. Pepperdine leading 17-13 in set 3. And up 2-0 as we take a look at our team comparison. Look at the difference in attacks, almost 20 more for Stanford, and yet the Waves have 12 more kills. Stanford's service has been pretty good, 5 aces, but digs 24-10 Pepperdine, and the blocking again one-sided. The Waves with a big advantage. In our team comparison being brought to you by 7-2 Indoor Golf. Pepperdine hitting .559, Stanford 158. And it really tells the story. Jose Gomez, 13 kills. Cole Harkey with 10, and Ryan Barnett with 10. Moses Wagner leading Stanford with 10 kills. Alex Rotman with 6, and Luke McFall with 5. The teams will battle tomorrow night, 6 p.m. And we'll have it on Big Ten Plus. Stanford on the offensive. Ball popped up. The Waves keep it in play. They go to Harkey with a rip. Just the ability of Pepperdine to keep the ball in play and gives them a chance to score. They have been so efficient. You see Jonathan Winder along the sidelines. Luke Reynolds, associate head coach. Matthew Pollock, associate head coach, and Will Kraft, assistant. A great job they've done. They're having a big recruiting year for next season. Over the middle, Reed Wainwright. 18-14 Pepperdine. The Cardinals serving. Ryan DeRoss comes in, 6'3 senior out of Gilroy, California, to serve. Number John Costi trying to have his team overcome all the injuries. His team does come in ranked number 14 in the nation. Despite the 9-12 record, people know how good his team is. But yet with the injuries and playing in the NBSF, it just doesn't get much tougher. Cole Harkey with the kill. 19-14 Pepperdine. see Hartke with 11 kills tonight, but he's hitting .421, 4 digs, 4 blocks, and a service ace. A potential National Player of the Year coming out of the back row. Wolf, but the Waves keep it in play. And then off the blocks, Pepperdine. Jose Gomez. 2014 Pepperdine. We're going to get a timeout taken with the Waves up 20-14 in set number 3. Waves getting some outstanding performances from a number of players, but of course Cole Hartke has been so good throughout the season and tonight. And our player package being brought to you by Pura Vida, outstanding restaurant here in Southern California. But Hartke has been terrific. 12 kills, hitting .474, 4 digs, 4 blocks, a service ace. Second team All-American as a freshman, the MPSF Freshman of the Year in 2025. And Hartke's been brilliant once again. Rotman trying to defend. Cole Hartke realized he's 6'10". There's just not many players at 6'10" you can put in the back row. Does so many things. Power hitter, blocks, handles the ball, great server. And that our player package being brought to you by Pura Vida on Cole Hartke, number 10. And you see the talented sophomore out of Barrington, Illinois, about 25 miles outside of Chicago. 2014 Pepperdine, Waves up 2-0. Pepperdine serving. Polomas comes up short. Inside out Stanford. 2015 Waves. Bryant will be at the service line to setter. Darren, banner year last year, had some injuries. Amongst a number of Stanford players. Talking to Coach Costi before the match. He just says it's been all year long. We've had injuries. They were picked 4th at the start of the season and currently tied with Brigham Young for 4th. Pepperdine tied for 1st with UCLA, both 9-1. Stanford tied with Brigham Young. Big showdown in Provo. BYU hosting USC for 2 matches. The overpass. Riley with a touch. It comes on the backside. Hartke. I say back there by Bryant. Comes to Wagner. They joust the Waves. Blocked, but it goes out of bounds. See if the Waves will challenge this. Hartke defending. Jonathan Winters. What'd you see, guys? And no challenge. 21-16 Pepperdine. Well, Waves had everybody there. Edie along with Barnett and Hartke. 21-16. Big jump serve. Hartke sets. And the shot attempt by Barnett, and apparently was touched, and the Waves get the point. So Hartke gets an assist. So they've done everything tonight. Well, tonight's game being brought to you by Urban Crunch. Waves 22, Cardinals 16. They had Wolf there, McFall. It might be a challenge here. Challenged by Stanford. Stanford is challenging this. The call on the court was a point to Pepperdine that it was touched on the hip by Barnett. You see Jonathan Winder, the 2025 MPSF Coach of the Year in his 4th season. Former 4-time All-American for Pepperdine from 2005 through 2008. Let's take a look. Shot by Barnett. Call on the court, it was touched, but it's really close. He's looking for the fingers to move back a little bit. The 3 blockers there. Barnett's 6'5", McFall's 6'9", Wolf is 6'8". Yeah, really tough to tell. Good job by our crew. There, a little better look. John Costi asked his team. Moses Wagner also defending. from that angle, it does not appear it was touched. Well, we'll see. And the officials, they have three minutes to review this. Tony Chan, the down official, Bert Fuller, the up official. Each coach gets 2 challenges per set. If you win, you're challenged to keep them. If you lose, you're down 1. For Stanford, a chance maybe to turn the tide here late in set number 3. Down 22-16. Calling the court was a point to Pepperdine. The hit by Barnett was touched. Stanford says no, it was not, and went out of bounds, and a point to Stanford. Waves with 5 national titles, second most all time to UCLA with 21. Bruins won it in 23 and 24. They had not won a national title since 2006 before they won those 2, and they are the favorite to get a national title this year. The point will stand for Pepperdine. So for Stanford, they lose one of their challenges. And Ryan Barnett gets the kill. And Barnett now with 11. Well-balanced attack. Andre Polomas with 40 assists, 4 digs, and 2 blocks. You've got Gomez with 14 kills, Harkey with 12, and Barnett 11. Moses Wagner leading Stanford with 11. Alex Rotman with 6, and Luke McFall with 5. Darren Barrett has 22 assists. The Cardinal only hitting 175. Pepperdine 578. Service error. Pepperdine, again, has been so good tonight against a quality team like Stanford. Not easy. 22-17. Waves have been drawing good crowds over the last several weeks. That big crowd here for UCLA, one of the largest all time, had almost 1,300 in attendance as the Waves beat UCLA a week ago Thursday. With the left hand, Ryan Barnett. 23-17. Waves trying to get their 11th shutout of the season and get their 12th win in the last 14 matches. Only 2 losses during that stretch. Hawaii and UCLA, the 2 top-ranked teams in the nation. UCLA number 1, Hawaii number 2. All right, Harkey to serve. They go to Wolf with a smash. Covered by Pepperdine. Quick hit there by Mate. Rejected by Stanford. Back to Harkey. Match point number 1 for Pepperdine. 24-17. Crowd standing, trying to see if the Waves can get their 19th win and go 10-1 in conference. Pepperdine serve. Harkey delivers the overpass. Pepperdine gets it. Polomas, big block up front. On Barnett it comes. Back to Barnett, who fires, gets the kill, and Pepperdine wins. Pepperdine able to beat Stanford. For the Waves, they go to 19-5, 10-1 in conference. Stanford now 9-13, 6-5 in league. For the Waves, they're 11 shutout of the year as the teams congratulate each other. And for Stanford, the 8th time they have been swept. Pepperdine ends up hitting 580. Stanford